Hey folks, Dave from Nerdarchy, for nerds by nerds, and today I'm hanging out with
Nerdarchy Ted.
Today we're going to deep dive back into Neat Magic, the Kobold Press series, and this time we're talking about Chaos Magic.
Jump down the description below where you can sign up for Nerdarchy, the newsletter. Get weekly gaming tips, as well as learn how to game with Nerdarchy.
And while you're down there, you can also find a link to Drive-Thru-RPG where you can grab your copy of Chaos Magic from the Deep Magic series from Kobold Press. Speaking of which, we'll jump right into the credits and such. And we have our writer or designer, which is Greg Marks. Development and editing is Steve Winter. Art director and graphic design is Mark Rattle. Cover art is Marcel Mercado. Interior art, Marcel Mercado. Corwin Paragon, I'm not sure how you say that. Florian Stitz and Brian Sim. And for any of you folks that I just butchered the crap out of your name, I really do apologize. And publisher is Wolfgang Bauer.
And I'm certain you've heard that name before.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of names we've seen before. Again, like I can't express enough how much I really love the art from the Deep Magic series. And, you know, we're not disappointed here. Get a lot of crazy stuff with Chaos Magic. And overall Chaos Magic, we're going to get a wizard tradition. We're going to get a college for the bards, which I was not expecting.
Yeah, that one was a little off the cuff there.
We also are going to get a Wild Surge table as well as 17 new spells.
17 new spells, 3 of which are rituals for those, that are obsessed like me.
Ted does love those rituals. So I guess with that, let's jump in there with the School of Chaos.
All right, so you get this nice little beef up of all right, chaos sorcerers, they have their thing, but wizards can sometimes dabble too. So as always, you get.
Well, I think if you take this tradition, you're not dabbling at that point. You've jumped into the deep end.
Sorry, wizards can embrace it too. There you go. That's a good word choice. So you get the Savant ability at level 2, where you get half the gold and time to put the stuff in your spell book for those 17 chaos spells that they've already brought up. You get long odds. Starting at 2nd level, you can manipulate reality-changing forces of chaos to alter the odds of a situation. You can give yourself, as a bonus action, or a creature you can see as a reaction, advantage on one attack roll, saving throw, or ability check that will be made this turn. Doing this causes a chaos magic surge, and you have to finish a long rest before you can use this ability again.
So, that's cool. It's thematic, but not only that is you have options, and it gives you a use for 2 of your actions or bonus in your reaction. So that in my mind makes it really strong. And, with the Wild Surge table, all kinds of fun things can ensue.
And we've seen that both in your game that Ryan plays in, as well as I did a fan game where I heavily used that chart as well.
It's nothing like, your players turning themselves into a potted plant.
Actually, multiple games that I've done with the Wild Magic table. I like it. It's fun.
So Twisted Arcana is your 6th level ability. Starting 6th level, when you cast a spell that causes damage, you can infuse the spell with greater power by channeling chaos through yourself. You make this choice after determining whether a spell has been successful, after making the spell attack roll. But before determining damage, if you invoke Twisted Arcana, roll 1d6 plus 1. This is the maximum number of spells damage dice you can reroll. You can reroll any number of damage dice up to the maximum, and you must use the rerolled results. In addition, the type of damage your spell causes is replaced randomly. There's a table for that, basically, and you can use this ability when you finish a long rest. So, that's a huge empower. A minimum of 2 dice, maximum of 7.
That is quite a lot. At 10th level, you get Shifting Resistance. When you cast a Chaos Magic spell, you can gain resistance randomly to an energy type. You can choose to automatically cause a surge to happen, and in doing so, you can roll twice and pick the result that you want. You can't use it again until you finish a long rest before you can gain that resistance. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, the thing with this is, though, it only lasts 1 plus your intelligence modifier, so it's not going to last very long. It's not really worth using unless you know you're going to be subjected to a lot of energy type damage. And even then, there's a chance it doesn't match up to what kind of damage you're going to taking. But, you know, it's chaos magic. It's random. That's the whole point. The final ability at 14th level, your capstone, is Master of Chaos. Starting at 14th level, anytime you cause a chaos magic surge, you regain 1 use of long odds, twisted arcana, or shifting resistance without taking a long rest. In addition, every time you can cast chaos spell, you gain temporary hit points equal to your intelligence modifier plus spells level. So at this point, you're going to be using those abilities a lot. You're going to be able to expand them a lot because this character class by itself or this subclass by itself makes you roll wild surges pretty often. So those things are going to just constantly keep refilling. And the fact of the matter is, most of those things, when you use them, they cause a surge. So, yeah, so it's like, it's perpetual. But, you know, it's not without its own risks.
That is true. So next we move on to the College of Entropy. This gives you, when you join this college at 3rd level, you gain proficiency with acrobatics, athletics, and a gaming set of your choice. So, like, bards, as you are well aware, they're very proficient in stuff, and they're just going to slather on some more options for you. 3rd level, you get Luck Stealer. You can borrow a little bit of other people's luck for yourself. When a creature that you can see within 60 feet makes an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw with advantage, you can use your reaction to spend one of your uses of bardic inspiration to grant the creature a penalty to the check equal to the number you rolled on the bardic inspiration die. You gain inspiration that is usable only on yourself and lasts for a number of rounds equal to the number rolled on the bardic inspiration die. If you do not expend it before that time, it's lost. Stealing luck, regardless of whether you use the inspiration, causes a chaos magic surge.
So yeah, there's a lot of that going on, and part of me is like, oh, I can use it against my party, and I can have all the advantages.
So that is something that, this is something that you could just as easily turn on. If you're the DM, you can turn this ability on them. Or if you set up a thing like, oh, that barbarian, he keeps using his attack recklessly. Well, I put a College of Entropy bard in there. Well, every time that guy's going to attack recklessly, or every time he's going to attack to gain advantage because the barbarian's attacking recklessly, I can use this
and steal one of them.
Steal one of them,
And the crazy part is, though, they would still have the negatives. It wouldn't remove the advantage other people are going to get to attack him. Or if the barbarian is on your side.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If the barbarian is on your side,
yeah,
the person attacking your friend, you then can take his advantage away.
Yes, so it's a pretty wicked combo. I don't know. I want to play with that a little bit. Infusion of Fortune is the 6th level, and you can cast Chaos Spell. You cause a Chaos Magic Surge and regain 1 use of Bardic Inspiration. You regain the use of Infusion of Fortune after a short or long rest. So, essentially, at the cost of a Surge, you're going to get 1 more Bardic Inspiration. Belief is a tool. Everything desires to be something else, starting at 14th level. As an action, the Luck Stealer can change 1 known spell to another spell of the same level or lower on the Bard spell list. At the end of the Bard's next turn, his or her list of known spells returns to normal. Using this ability causes a magic surge. So, if you need something that you don't have, you can grab it.
So there's a lot of spells that are out there, and to be able to say, you know what, I really need this, and I don't have it, I don't know it, you can just say, you know what, it's worth the surge to be able to cast this next round.
Yeah, I need the thing. And then after that, you get the Wild Surge table, which takes up about a page and a half, and you got some crazy things on there, like if you roll a 55 or 56, your eyes turn into potatoes and fall from their eye sockets.
I don't know, 95 to 96 is your teeth turn into moths and fly away.
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff. Well, that one and the potato one, they're both permanent. With the potato one, you're blinded until you receive a remove curse or regenerate spell. And obviously, the one where you're losing your teeth, that's going to be a problem, if you like eating things that aren't mushy.
That's true. 79 through 80, you cast Flame Strike centered on yourself. 81 through 82, you gain 1d4 times 10 pounds of weight. It means your clothes are not going to fit right anymore.
Yeah, especially if you keep rolling that one, too. 31 through 32, loud horns that can be heard for a mile, sound for an hour. The sound moves with you.
You know, that could be great if if this wound up happening during the middle of the night when you guys are resting.
Yeah, you also do get some cool things that can be useful. Depending on the situation, you're getting your highest expended spell slot is a good one. There's also one where you shoot a ray of frost at 3 targets that you pick.
What about you become immune to all damage for 1 round?
Yeah, so there is a mix of good and bad, and some of the bad things don't go away and they are permanent. So that's definitely interesting.
But what about you turn into a succulent cooked ham for 10 rounds? While a ham, you are incapacitated and vulnerable to all damage, and the gold plate that you appear upon can be sold for 5 gold.
Yeah, with that one, the first thing I thought of is, especially an unintelligent monster, like an animal or something, would definitely scoop that up and try and run off to eat it. And I guess you're a ham with your hit points, but you're incapacitated, so every attack on you is a crit, and then you're taking vulnerable. Yeah, so that could get ugly pretty fast. So now we got a bunch of new spells to jump into. The very first one, Auspicious Warning, is a divination spell, and it's also a reaction spell, which is nice, range 30 feet. Just in time, you call out a fortunate warning to a creature. The target rolls d4 and adds the number roll to attack rolls, ability checks, or saving throws that they have made, and uses the new result to determine success or failure. So that's kind of cool for a reaction spell for first level. And I believe there's also another one that's very similar, except for applies a penalty instead of
right. Yeah. So bad timing is 2nd level. You point toward a creature that you can see and twist strands of chaotic energy around its fate. If the target fails a charisma saving throw, the next attack roll or ability check the creature attempts within 10 minutes is made with disadvantage.
So one of the spells that really stood out to me is not for any reason because it's amazing or anything like that, but because in the Ingest quest game that Nerd Doug is running, Anthony Amato from Cardboard Fortress is playing this ooze cleric, and his goal is to become the perfect being, which is made of ooze, of course. So Chaotic Form is a spell that lasts 10 minutes, no concentration required, causes your form of a willing creature to become malleable, dripping and flowing according to the target's will. As a creature were a vaguely humanoid shaped ooze. The creature is not affected by difficult terrain, has advantage on dexterity, acrobatics checks made to escape grapples, and it suffers no penalties for squeezing through spaces one size category smaller than itself. The target's movement is halved while affected by chaotic form. So like I said, it's not an amazing spell, but it just made me think of that game.
And it's a fun spell. You got some definite options of how you can best use that.
There's a fluctuating alignment spell, yes, and that does exactly what it sounds like. Every round that you concentrate on it, someone's alignment is going to be getting changed. It may not really change how they feel about you, but there's some crazy things going on there.
So if you are in an alignment heavy game, this is something that could definitely make some drastic changes. If you're not really following strongly with the way alignment is presented, I might want to stay clear of that one.
So Frenzied Bolt is a really fun spell. It's got a decent range on 120 feet. It's only a 2nd level spell. Direct a bolt of rainbow colors towards a creature of your choice within range. If it hits, the target takes 3d8 damage of a random type determined by rolling the damage type, which is up above. If you attack roll was odd, the roll itself not adjust the result, the bolt leaps to a new target of your choice within range that has not already been targeted by a frenzy bolt, requiring a new spell attack to hit. The bolt continues to leap to new targets until you roll an even number or your spell attack you miss a target or run out of potential targets. All targets must be within range from you. You and your allies are legal targets for this spell if you're particularly lucky or unlucky. At higher levels, you can cast the spell using a spell slot at 3rd level or higher to create an additional bolt for each slot level above 2nd. Each potential target can be hit only once by the spell and not once per bolt. So it's a good way to spam out a lot of damage, especially if there's a wide area, a wide swath of monsters that you're fighting. But then again, you might be nailing your party as well.
So, you start at the back and you work your way forward. And hopefully by then, you'll run out of bolts before it starts getting to your party.
Hey man, hit points are a resource.
I really like that spell as well. That was one of the ones that I wanted to be able to put out.
It's actually similar to one of the spells in Xanathar's Guide.
Okay.
It's not exactly the same, but it's similar with the bouncing effect. So Mass Surge Dampener, and there's also Surge Dampener, and they're also both rituals, and basically they kind of protect you and some of your allies from wild surges. So you can kind of stack the deck in your favor a little bit if you know something's coming up, and you want to use a lot of surges.
Paragon of Chaos, you become a humanoid-shaped, swirling mass of color and sound. You gain resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage, and immunity to poison and psychic damage. You're also immune to the following conditions: exhaustion, paralyzed, petrified, poisoned, and unconscious. Finally, you gain true sight to 30 feet and can teleport 30 feet as a move action, or as a move. Each round as a bonus action, you can invoke a Chaos Magic Surge, choosing yourself or another creature as the caster for resolving the effect. You must choose a target before rolling for the Chaos Magic Surge. The DC of any required saving throws is determined as if you were the caster. This is an 8th level spell, casting time 1 action, concentration up to a minute, and oh my word. Oh my word.
So... one more, and then we'll take it on out of here. I think Uncontrollable Transformation is a 7th level transmutation ritual. Only takes an action to cast it, and it lasts an hour. Very important to note that you do need a Bill of a Platypus in order to cast this spell. But hey, it doesn't go away. You infuse your body with raw chaos and will it to adopt a helpful mutation. Roll a d10 and consult the control mutation table below. Determine what mutation occurs. You can try to control the shifting of your body to gain a mutation you prefer, but doing so is taxing. Roll a d10 twice and choose the result you prefer. You gain 1 level of exhaustion at the end of the spell. Your body returns to its normal form, so you're going to pay a bit of a price. When you cast the spell using the spell slot of 8th level or higher, you can gain an additional mutation for each slot above 7th. Gain 1 level of exhaustion for each mutation you try to control. And then you get, there is 10 different ones. These things like gain 3 wings and you get a fly speed, or you might get gills that also will get rid of poisonous gas for you as well and give you invulnerability, become incorporeal. So there's a bunch of cool things. Now, I don't know, this spell might be a little problematic in the sense that, granted, it's not going to come in until later in the game, but it's a ritual that lasts an hour. And you can cast it as a 9th level spell if you wanted to. So as long as you have the time to cast it, it doesn't cost you anything to do it.
Well, you can't increase the spell slot and use it as a ritual at the same time.
I wonder about that. Because you know what? Most of the time, most of the ritual spells don't have that component.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if you can choose, but it might be the case that you can only do it as a 7th level spell. It has a duration, no concentration, but you can still get the free 7th level casting if you wanted to.
That is true. Yeah.
And then you could actually cast it again. But so in that sense, it's a little odd to me, and it seems a little strong. Well, that would be a ritual spell.
I agree that having that be a ritual, is a challenge. I look at this and say, there's very specific instances that some of these abilities, are going to be like, I need to do this now because I want this specific one. And, you've only got a 10% chance of making that happen unless you're willing to take on exhaustion. And then you've got slightly better odds. So,
you could ritual cast a spell like 3 times if you're going into a fight, and you still have 30 minutes of the spell left. So it's weird. Kobold Press is usually really good with their stuff. This one, I kind of raise an eyebrow a little bit. Now, that being said, like Ted said, the actual abilities you get are not amazing. I just think it's really good as a ritual spell. As a regular spell, it's kind of meh. It's fun and random, and that's the whole point of chaos magic is to be random. So it definitely hits that beat.
I like it. I like it because it's a ritual spell. I don't think it's in any way, shape, or form broken. because, yeah, you get some neat abilities, but you got to get access to the spell. You know, if you really want to be you know, that jerk DM's like, well, now you need to find the bill of a platypus in order to make this work.
Sounds like an epic quest to me.
And it's like, well, okay, well, you've got a bill, but is that a platypus bill or is that a duck bill?
Well, that's why you have to seek out the whole platypus and then extract the bill. But the question is, guys, are you using deep magic in your game? What about chaos magic? We got a place where you can talk about that, and that is down in the comments below. While you're at it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
You can hang out with us over on Facebook.
So until next time, stay nerdy.